diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
Welcome back to another episode of BWT. It's been a long time, been grieving about the Yankees losing. Let me live, but I'm back. It's been a pretty good off season for the entirety of the MLB. A bunch of teams making moves in free agency. I'll be going over some of those in later videos as we get closer to spring training and the beginning of the regular season. But now I will be going over the grades for last year. Every team, we're gonna do the AL and NL West tonight in this video, and then we will go on and on for the upcoming videos. And I've got some special stuff lined up as well. We'll be ranking the top 10 players at each position according to me, not MLB or any of these other lists that you've been seeing on social media. So I can't wait to get into that, to start some debates in all over social media, right? If you guys haven't yet, follow me on Instagram at that kid Mercado. Make sure you are liking this video and sharing it with any baseball fans that you may know. And please subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. And also make sure you are subscribed to the Refuse to Lose Network. We've got plenty of shows that cover all types of sports. We got Carl Talking College, goes over everything college related, basketball and football. We've got RBO with Vaughn, NBA show. We've got FFC, fantasy football with Coach Coombs. Fantasy football is over, but now he's going over the playoffs and stuff like that. We have In the Red Corner with Tomo, Ty, and Ricky. Boxing show. Great content. Make sure you check them out. We've got Unfazed with JJ and AJ. Great show. Two of the, I would say, best debaters in the Refuse to Lose uh, little family that we've put together these past probably like 2 years. They finally got together on a show, and they're NL East rivals in football. They are rivals in basketball, so it's always fun watching those guys debate. And then we have Dave's Doghouse, where he gives you the highlights and the lowlights of the week. He's actually going live Thursday night at 8 p.m., so make sure you tune into that. I'm sure he's got some people that have performed well and some people that have performed bad. And of course, the main show, Refuse to Lose, that's with Dave, Tomo, and Joe. That is basically the sports center of the entire network. Goes over everything in the sports world. They were recently talking about the past weekend wild card, going over that, a bunch of stuff, man. That's happened in the sports world. Not even like on the court or on the field. Also, allegations, those were talked about as well on that show. So make sure you guys are tuning in, showing us some love, and we got you the rest of the way in the sports world. You don't need ESPN, you don't need FS1, you don't need anything else. You just need the Refuse to Lose network here on YouTube. Don't miss out on the content that we're putting out. All right, let's get right into it. We've got the Rockies, the Colorado Rockies. They went 61 and 101 last year. They played terrible. Like it was just a bad season from the beginning all the way into the end. They had a couple games where they messed up my parlays because they were supposed to lose, but they ended up winning. I remember one game they were down by 4 in the 8th inning, and guess what? They came back and won the game. And it was the only leg that didn't hit on the parlay, so whatever. They got Ezekiel Tovar. He is a great shortstop. I believe he won Gold Glove this season. Well, last season. Charlie Blackman, who retired last year. Great career. Chuck Nasty. Thanks for all the memories. If you watch baseball, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. Um, you got Ryan McMahon, third baseman with a sweet lefty stroke to put it out of Coors Field. Then you got Brenton Doyle, Gold Glove caliber center fielder as well. So they've got some pieces to build off. I just don't know if they can pull anything off, especially being in the NL West, where you got teams like the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and of course the Dodgers making all the moves that they're making. Nobody really wants to go to Colorado to play. So that's why their record was 61 and 101, and they get a D plus from me for their last season. And here I'm going from the bottom of the division all the way to the top. So the Rockies ended in last place in the NL West. In fourth were the San Francisco Giants. They went 80 and 82. Their bright spots were Matt Chapman, uh, Jordan Hicks, Robbie Ray, Logan Webb, uh, Patrick Bailey, Tyler Fitzgerald. He came out of nowhere and just raked all over. Like it was pretty ridiculous. Um, Marco Luciano, great rookie. Uh, he's played tremendous. Ramos, he's nasty. He just rakes. And their center fielder Lee, I'm going to mispronounce his first name, but that's why I'm just gonna leave it out. Lee, right? Um, I'm giving them a C plus, right? They had Blake Snell in the rotation. He signed late in spring training. He didn't really have a spring training, so he used the beginning of the regular season as a spring training to get into it, and then he ended up throwing a no hitter against the Cincinnati Reds later on in the year. Um, and then he ended up leaving to go play with the Dodgers this upcoming season. But they've always had great pitching. Buster Posey is now the director of baseball operations there. So he's going to make moves to bring players there for them to compete for the division and a World Series title. Uh, he made one big splash this offseason, signing Willie Adames to play short. So that is going to move Tyler Fitzgerald from shortstop position. And Adames, that dude, he's great. So it was a great pickup for them to build off of what they already have coming off of an 80-win season. And then we've got the reigning NL champions, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They went 89 and 73 last year, missing the playoffs. Came down to the very last game. of the, if you guys remember correctly, the Mets and the Braves when they had their doubleheader postponed because of weather. The Diamondbacks needed one team to lose, and they didn't, so they weren't able to get in. Some bright spots in their roster were Ketel Marte, who absolutely raked all season long from both sides of the plate, played tremendous defense as well. Zach Gallen, uh, Kelly, you had Eugenio Suarez, uh, Gurriel Jr., Corbin Carroll, and Jake McCarthy. They came off a World Series appearance and they started off really slow, right? And they also had Christian Walker as well, who eventually walked away in free agency, but they got somebody right back in Josh Naylor from the Cleveland Guardians. So that's going to help them out on offense and kind of defense because Christian Walker was a tremendous first baseman defensively. I'm giving them a C plus just for the fact that they just missed the playoffs. They did not play up to par. It might have been a World Series hangover, but at the end of the day, they just didn't do what they had to do to win and get into the playoffs and have another chance at redeeming themselves to get another World Series for the organization. And then in second place in the division is the San Diego Padres. They went 93 and 69. Some standouts on their roster were Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Yu Darvish, Michael King, who pitched lights out all year long, and with a midseason acquisition of Luis Arias to play first base and bat at the top of that lineup and do what he does at an extreme clip. Arias is one of the pure hitters in the game, and for him to be in front of a Tatis or a Manny Machado, it just helps that lineup up so much. And Jackson Merrill coming onto the scene and leading this team to the playoffs when they had Tatis out for I think it was about a month and a half. You had Manny Machado out with injuries, and they were looking for guys to step up. And Jackson Merrill, being a rookie, came up as a shortstop, learned how to play center field because there were too many infielders. So what he did, he took it upon himself, learned how to play center field, and mind you, kid's a rookie, right? So he came out and balled. And hats off to Jackson Merrill. I'm going to give the team overall grade a B. I say a B and nothing higher because they should have beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. They should have beat them. All Tatis had to do was stop this stupidity, right, of taunting the fans and doing all the craziness that he was doing in the dugout during their series. They were up 2-1 and ended up losing it. So for that, they get a B for an overall grade on the season. And then the winners of the NL West were the Los Angeles Dodgers. They went 98 and 64, ended up winning the World Series in 5 against the Yankees. Uh, some standouts were obviously Shohei Ohtani with his 50-50 year, Teoscar Hernandez, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Walker Bueller. The list goes on and on. This team was just stacked. Um, Deferred money, non deferred money, whatever. It doesn't matter. They went out there and did what everybody expected them to do, which was to win the World Series. And for that, I got to give them an A plus. They dealt with crazy injuries throughout the entire year in their pitching rotation, and they still were able to piece together uh, a winning ball club at the end of the year. So I got to give credit to Dave Roberts for being able to put together a team that can not only win their division, but be battle tested in the playoffs, come down from a 2-1 deficit in the first round of the playoffs, and then they just steamrolled past the Mets, and then it still hurts. But to go and beat the Yankees in the World Series in 5 games uh, shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. The Dodgers won the World Series, right? So for that, again, I give them an A plus. And then we go over to the AL West. At the bottom of the division was the Los Angeles Angels. Lost me some money last year because I made a bet with this random follower on my Instagram that the A's would finish worse than the Angels. And guess what? The Angels finished worse than the Athletics. They went 63 and 99. Some standouts were Mike Trout, Zach Neto, Ben Joyce, and then this whole Anthony Rendon situation. It is sad that he can't go out there and play the game that he is paid to do. But it's a job, right? At the end of the day, you have a job to play a kid's game and play it at a high level. You got paid a pretty good amount of money after you won the World Series in Washington. The Angels went out and wrote you a check, a big one, and you have not lived up to it at all. You need to do better, Anthony. It's just that simple, right? Um, Trout, I think I speak for all baseball fans when I say that there needs to be a season where Mike Trout is not hurt. He needs to go an entire year fully healthy so we can really see how great this guy is. Like, I've seen lists for top 10 center fielders, and Mike Trout was as low as 5. You gotta be on something. And it's not the good stuff. You gotta be on something to put Mike Trout at number 5 center fielder in all of the MLB. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it because it's got you guys acting crazy. I'm giving the Angels a D minus for the year that they had. Just a complete letdown. Ron Washington, his first year as the manager. Hopefully, he can set a new culture for this team and get them to winning games because they need it. Then we go to fourth place in the AL West, the Oakland Athletics for the final season. Um, I can't talk about the Oakland Athletics without uh, giving my respect to the late great Ricky Henderson, the King of Steel. Rest in peace. Praise out to your family, the Henderson family. Um, all the stories that I've ever heard about Ricky Henderson were always good, always great. He would always talk in third person. He would get on first base. He would tell the first baseman, Ricky's gonna steal second. Then Ricky's gonna steal third. Right. The first guy who started pimping home runs back in the 80s when he was playing for the Athletics. Um, he was the fastest guy. Um, he always had a smile on his face, and it's the way the game should be played. He had a great career, and so shout out to Ricky Henderson, and again prayers out to his family. As far as the team goes, they played their last season in Oakland. They finished 69 and 93. Some standouts were Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, who just hit the cover off the ball all year long. Mason Miller threw gas, one of the top closers in all of baseball, and Shea Langeliers. They have been making some moves this offseason as they go over to Sacramento for the next 2 or 3 years, and then they go over to Las Vegas, where they're supposed to have their new home. So, with that being said, they get a D+ for this season that just happened. Just because, I mean, yeah, I really didn't expect anything from them, but they went out and competed all year long. And that last series, it was just super emotional as a baseball fan. To It was just the Cinderella story. The last series started off with a walk-off home run, walk-off hit by a rookie. So it was just like a Cinderella story, man. You literally cannot write a better script than that. And of course, in their last game, they ended up winning, sending the Oakland faithful home for the last time with a smile on their face because the Oakland Athletics won a baseball game. We go to third place in the division, the Texas Rangers. They finished 78 and 84. Some standouts for them were Corey Seager, Marcus Simeon, Adolis Garcia, and Nathan Eovaldi. After coming off of the World Series the year before, the team was not the same. Bruce Bochy did not have these guys playing the way that they played the year before when they made it to the World Series and won it. Adolis Garcia was not himself at all. Corey Seager kept getting hurt all season long. There wasn't a long stretch where he was in the lineup every single day. And that hurt them because Corey Seager is one of the leaders in that clubhouse and on the team. And for that, I'm going to give the Rangers a C for an overall grade. We go to second place in the division, the Seattle Mariners. They finished 85 and 77. They had standouts. All five of their starting pitchers, Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, those guys were studs. The reason why the Mariners lost the division lead was because of the lack of offense that this team had. It was truly disgusting. They had their pitchers going out there allowing maybe 1, 2 runs, and they couldn't get wins. Right in the MLB, you got to be able to put up some runs if you want to win some games, and the offense just didn't help them. Um, they had Kyle Raleigh. He had a great season, hitting wise, and they also tried to go out and get the offensive help at the trade deadline, trading for Randy Arozarena from the Rays, and that didn't help either. Julio Rodriguez is considered one of the top players in this league. Um, he he was he was up and down all year. He needs to find a consistent stride to where he can just continue to elevate this team. And for that, them losing the division lead, I'm going to give them a B minus on the season. Then we go to the winners of the AL West, the Houston Astros, 88-73. Some standouts for them were Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, and Kyle Tucker. The team will look completely different after free agency ends because they lost Kyle Tucker in a trade. Bregman declined their free agency offer, so they will have a new third baseman as well. And now we will see if Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve can lead this team to the success that they've had these past couple seasons with a full team. Now it's just those two guys with a supporting cast of Jeremy Pena and Yanya Diaz and Jake McCormick, and nothing too crazy name wise. You know what I mean? Um, they've got some good pitching. Framber Valdez and Roniel Blanco. He got caught with some pine tar last season, ended up getting suspended, but nonetheless, we are here. I give the Astros a B plus for their last season. It wasn't an A because they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs against a team that I don't think anybody wanted to play at that time because they were one of the hottest teams, not having any chance in the middle of the season. They had a .02 chance of even making the playoffs, and the Detroit Tigers came in and beat everybody and found a way to beat the Houston Astros. Not even just beat, they swept the Houston Astros. We got our first comment of the night, Party Mafia TV, the fire emoji. Appreciate you for tuning in, my guy. But yeah, that's what I gotta give them. I gotta give them a B plus. Because they were down, right? They weren't playing good baseball, and they found a way to come back and win their division and represent the city of Houston in the playoffs, even though they didn't get the job done. But their team, like I said, is going to look completely different next year. Defensively, it's going to take a hit, and offensively, that lineup is not going to be the same, man. You can pitch around guys now that Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman are gone, so it's gonna be interesting this upcoming season. Wonder what they do in the rest of the off season to make up for those losses. They went out and got Isaac Paredes in the trade for Kyle Tucker to play third base. I think that is a major downgrade defensively and also offensively from Alex Bregman. So like I said, man, we'll see what goes on from there. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Make sure you guys are liking this video, sharing it with any baseball fans that you may know. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.